Hello, it's me again, Charlene. I was planning on making lasagna tonight, but then I kind of realized I didn't have any Italian sausage. So, what I'm gonna do is make an Italian sausage substitute. Anywho, my hair is back. My hands are washed. Let's get to cooking. So, I don't have any ground pork. I don't have any ground turkey or chicken. So, I'm using ground beef. And it's just, well, actually, this is the good stuff. This is the 8515, I think. Yeah. Well, let me take a look at this package and I'll tell you. Yeah, it's 8515. Okay, and I'm not going to stick my hands in there because I don't like getting grease and stuff under my fingernails. So, let me get my measuring spoon real quick. There we go. So I'm putting on these gloves. Okay. And this is 1 pound of ground beef, 8515. So to this we're going to add, okay, the recipe I'm following calls for 1 onion minced. I'm not going to use real onion. Well, this is real onion, it's just dried. I'm going to use onion powder and the equivalent of 1 fresh onion, according to Google, or according to the search engine I used. The equivalent of 1 medium onion is 1 tablespoon of onion powder. So that's what I just put in there. Next is, let me get these out of the way as I use them. Next is 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay, there's 1. And that's about 1/2. Good enough. Next is 1 clove of minced garlic. I'm not going to use minced garlic. So according to that search engine, the equivalent of 1 clove of garlic is 1/8 of a teaspoon. But that doesn't sound like much. I mean, that would be about that. Because this is a 1/2 teaspoon, so it would be about that much. I like garlic. So I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. Next it calls for 1 teaspoon of basil. Even with my cold, I can smell this, so I must not be a fan. Anyways, there was a teaspoon of basil. There goes my alarm, my driveway alarm. Next is, I can't read without my glasses. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. If I can get it open. There we go. I'm not a big pepper fan, so I'm going to make it a scant 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Okay. Next is a half teaspoon of oregano. Oh, maybe I'm just getting over my head cold because I can smell this too. It smells pretty good. Okay. And then, hang on, I hate to do this, but I gotta get my glasses. There they are. Back to what we're doing. Okay, what did I just do? Okay, I just did oregano. Now this one says a quarter teaspoon of paprika. Hang on, I know I got a quarter teaspoon over here somewhere. Yep, there it is. This one's a little hard to read because it's written in white on there. See right here. Okay, quarter teaspoon paprika. Okay, there we go. And okay, it says 1/8 of a teaspoon of thyme. I don't have any thyme, so hang on, this is driving me nuts. So I used a search engine, and I looked up substitutes for thyme. And the best substitute is oregano. So, so I'm going to add a little more oregano. It calls for 1/8 teaspoon of thyme, so I'm just going to use an extra 1/8 teaspoon of oregano, which would be half of this quarter teaspoon. So there's that. Next it says 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. If I put cayenne pepper in this, I will not be able to eat it. So I'm skipping the cayenne. But if you want to put it in there, you go right ahead. And it calls for 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. Well, 2 things. I'm not a fan of fennel. Therefore, number 2, I don't have any fennel. So, once again, I went to my trusty search engine, and it said celery seed is a good. Ooh, that smells good. Okay. So celery seed is my substitute for fennel. Hang on a second. I made myself some broth because I not feel good. I'm just thankful that I do not have a sore throat. Okay, that's all my seasonings on my meat. So now I just got to mix it in real good. That's really smelling good. I can barely smell it, but what I can smell smells good. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. think that is worked in really well. Oh, that does smell good. My. Okay. Stop. I know. I like playing with stuff. Okay, I gotta get a container. Okay, now I have a container, so let us contain this beef. Okay, quit playing with it. Get it in the container. All right, now this recipe says to put it in an airtight container and stick it in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days so it can take on all those good flavors that we just added to it. So there's that. It's in the container. I know it looked like I really mashed it down, but I didn't. I just kind of poked at it a little bit and smoothed it out. Excuse me. And yes, I turned my head. Okay. Now I'm getting rid of this one. And then getting rid of this one. And this can go in the sink. Ugh. Yeah, I've been sick. I admit it. So I haven't been feeling good enough to do my dishes. I know. But there's only 2 of us here, so there's not that many. And Tim usually washes his own. Okay. That's a pound of what hopefully will taste like Italian sausage in 2 to 3 days. Okay, I'm going to put this in the fridge and I'll be back. Okay, that's in the refrigerator setting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make what we're actually going to eat tonight for supper, which is, normally I call it 7-layer bean dip. It's Mexican based. I've made it on here before, I believe, but I'm going to do it again. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I need some refried beans. I thought I had some in the pantry, but I did not. And that pan, I'm going to make my tortilla chips. But in this pan, I'm going to make some refried beans. Now, I would make these from home canned beans, but I don't have any. I need to do some. I have home canned baked beans, and I have home canned chili with no beans, but I don't have any home canned pinto beans. So I'm just using 1 can because there's only 2 of us eating tonight, I think, unless the girls find out about this and they come over. Okay, that takes care of that. Let's get this heating up. And yes, I put all the juice and everything from that can of pinto beans in there. Now this is my own idea. I didn't even bother looking up a recipe for this, for the refried beans, but I'm putting in a little bit of burrito seasoning. I don't know how that actually differs from taco seasoning, except that it's not as chili powdery, I guess. It's just a bit milder than taco seasoning. Or blender. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, it's lighter than taco seasoning. I'm getting my immersion blender ready. Because once those get hot, I'm just going to blend them up a little bit. But for now, I'm going to mix that seasoning in. Hey, stop it. You know the rules. We're not having none of that. I may not need that immersion blender after all. A little bit. Turn that down because that's my turbo burner. Okay. Okay, normally I wouldn't do this, but I don't think it's going to take very much to get all this grease out of here, so I'll sacrifice a couple paper towels for it. Because as I said, this is 85-15. Same as the ground beef I made the Italian sausage out of. Hello? Shut up! Hey! No! No! Get over here. This one's yours. Stop that. Okay, I broke up the fight. Okay, finish this. Finish this. Okay. I think that's good enough. So to this, I'm going to add some of my homemade taco seasoning. Looks like about a packet's worth. And a little bit of water. Just enough to mix that up real good. Oh, hang on. I gotta go stop the neighbor dog from eating himself to death. Thinks he's starving, so he's gonna eat 4 bowls of dog food. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. My beans are still heating. Yeah, they're getting thick, but I think I need to mash them a bit more. And I'm just going to do it this way. I'm not going to use that immersion blender. I'm not making that much, so. Okay. And I only had 1 can of pinto beans, believe it or not, in my pantry. So that's all I've got that I can use. I mean, I don't even have any kidney beans or white beans or anything. I need to do some bean canning. Now, if y'all want to see how I do that, just leave me a comment on here, and I will. I'll check back with y'all. In a day or two. Oh, sorry. I got the sniffles. Okay, I'll check back with y'all in a day or two, and if you want to see me can those beans, I'll show you me canning those beans. I'm going to let this cook a little bit so it'll dry out some, because that was too much juice. I shouldn't have put it all in there. Anywho, that's how you fix it. Let me stir my meat. Ooh, I can smell that. Oh. Okay, that's just about done too. Okay, so I'll bring y'all back when I get my station set up over there to make our 7-layer dip. Okay, here we go. I'm using a fairly small dish because, as I said, it's just me and my hubby. Okay, so that one little old can of beans is gonna be plenty. Spread that out. Oh, you can't quite see my little visitor, but he takes up a lot of room in here. He's sound asleep, or else I'd kick him out. At least out of the kitchen. Okay, there's another dirty dish. I gotta do dishes tonight. Ain't no putting that off. Okay, layer number 2 is supposed to be guacamole, but guess who doesn't have any? And guess who's not going to the store? Yep, that's me. Okay, so number 2 is going to be sour cream. like I said, if I had guacamole, that's what would be going here, and then I would put the meat next, and then the sour cream. But since I don't have any guacamole, the sour cream goes now. Oh, and no, I don't have any avocados. I don't like avocados. Other people in the household claim to like avocados, but when I buy them, guess what goes bad? Avocados. So when they start turning on me, the avocados, not the people, I make guacamole and I stick it in the freezer. Well, some of my brands like guacamole, so when they find out I've got guacamole in the freezer, they eat my guacamole. Okay, there's the sour cream. So, next layer is that good old taco meat. Now the good thing about this 7-layer dip, it makes good tacos. And you've got everything you need right there. All you have to do is add a tortilla. Or you can even make taco salad just by adding lettuce and tomatoes to the top. Okay, there's that. Okay, let's see, what do I want to put next? Hold on, let me see what I got. Okay, since I've already used the sour cream, which is what would be going right here, I am going to go ahead and skip to the next layer, which is cheese. Now, bad thing is, I don't have very much of any one cheese except Parmesan. And that's just a little weird putting on Mexican food. But then again, so is mozzarella, which is what I've got in my hand right now. And I don't have very much of this, so I'm going to break it up because somebody squeezed the bag flat when they closed it. Can you guess who that was? Probably me, because I hate leaving air in bags. So, okay, so there's a little bit of mozzarella. And I also have a little bit of cheddar, triple cheddar. So, let's put that on there. And again, I don't have a whole lot of this either. That was maybe maybe a third of a small bag. Okay. But I just can't use Parmesan on there. Sorry, can't do it. Might be good for all I know, but Parmesan to me is for Italian food. And of course, that's what we're going to have in 2 to 3 days when that Italian sausage is ready. Okay, so that's beans, sour cream, meat, cheese. That's 4. Oh, I don't need those onions. I need those onions. Okay, I don't like chopping up olives, so I'm just going to crush them. Got a fly buzzing me here. Get out of here. You don't belong in my kitchen. Don't make me turn the air conditioner back on. Okay. I guess actually I should have used this other bag because these are already sliced. And I'm just going to add these two together because that's enough. I don't like olives. So I'm not putting them on my part. Okay. What was that, 5? So here's layer 6. Don't worry, my counter is clean. I wipe my counters with hot soapy water, and then I use a disinfectant on them before I start cooking for my videos. And I always make sure they're nice and clean before I cook for anybody. Okay, that's 6 on his part, 5 on my part. So, the last layer is going to be some of these tortilla strips. And we can always add more to our plates. Okay. There we go. All right, that's it. It's all done. And it's probably still warm. So I'm going to scoop me some of this. Add a few more of these tortilla strips. That does look good. Oh, I guess I could have got myself a fork. Okay. Since I don't have any tortilla chips to scoop this with, you might want to see my expression, maybe. Okay. Well, I'm surprised, actually. That mozzarella is really good on there. Put me a few more of these tortilla strips on here. Can't have too many. I'll get my blood sugar acting all stupid. Okay. This is really good, y'all. This is one that's as fun to make as it is to eat, because you can make this any way you want to. Whatever flavor profile, I can't even talk. Whatever flavor profile you want to go with. I learned this with the Mexican flavors, but it wouldn't be hard to change it to Italian or American. You know, you could use cut up hot dogs instead of hamburger. I mean, how much more American can you get than hot dogs? Yeah. There's all different flavor profiles and stuff you could go with. That would be good as a pizza flavor. That's an idea. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching. And I hope you... Oh, yeah. Come back in a few days and we'll make that lasagna I was talking about. With that beef Italian sausage. Okay. Well, I'm going to go drink my broth, eat my supper. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.